They're proud, and they've got away with words. This time on the hit list, it's a rap. Although he's now a huge star in his own right, Ne-Yo first found success writing for other artists. His song Let Me Love You helped R&B singer Mario to one of the biggest hits of 2005, which led to his own deal with Def Jam Records. A year later, he topped the charts himself with the single So Sick off his In My Own Words album. Suddenly, he couldn't go out without being recognized.
As a writer, you could be a normal guy as a writer. You could, you could go home when you feel like it. You could go to the movies, have a girlfriend. You could do all of that stuff that regular people do as a writer because you're behind the scenes. Like you're not the celebrity, or at least you're not trying to be. And you're making a great living doing what you do. So like you could be a regular person. As an artist, you don't really get that privilege. Like I can't just get up and go to the movies by myself if I wanted to.
Within another year, Ne-Yo was coming to terms with winning 2 MOBO awards.
Utter shock, both times. I mean, with people like Akon and Amy Winehouse and Robin Thicke and all these people, I really was not expecting to win. I really wasn't. These are people that I'm a fan of, you know what I mean? So I didn't know. I got up there, didn't know what to say, man. It was crazy.
So after you've won these awards, what do you do with them? Do you have a room?
My mom has a room. She puts all the accomplishments in her house, because they'll get ruined at my house.
After that, there was no stopping the boy from Arkansas, who named himself Ne-Yo after Keanu Reeves' character in The Matrix. Later in 2007, he set up his own recording studio in Atlanta, Georgia, which went on to become a fully fledged record label called Compound. He also embarked on a film career. After appearing in Save the Last Dance 2 and Stomp the Yard, he set his sights on starring in and producing the film Venice Beach, to which he's also writing the soundtrack. By the time January 2008 rolled around, he was taking the 5 Grammy Award nominations for his second album Because of You in his stride.
Right there, yeah, right on the cusp of greatness, I guess.
How great is that?
It feels good. It feels really, really good. Last year I had, I think, 2, and I upgraded 3. Yeah, so I'm good. I'm happy. I'm nervous. Very nervous. Very nervous. Because, I mean, come on, it's the Grammys. Everybody wants to win a Grammy, so it's like, fingers crossed, and I got my whole family praying, which is, more than half of the state of Arkansas. And, we'll see what happens.
Christopher Bridges, aka Ludacris, has sold more than 15 million records, making him the biggest-selling Southern hip-hop artist of all time. But then he did get started early. He reportedly wrote his first rap song at the age of 9 and joined his first rap group in Illinois 3 years later. By 26, he landed 4 Grammy nominations, 2 for his first album, Back for the First Time, and another 2 for Word of Mouth.
It's like the biggest award ceremony of them all. So it definitely gives you a lot of exposure. It might give you some more record sales too, which is a good thing, which equals more money in your pocket and more, renegotiation status.
Sweeping aside criticism that his lyrics glamorized guns, violence, drugs, and disrespect of women, he was already on to his 3rd album, Chicken and Beer.
That's what rap music is all about. Rap music is down to earth. It's real personal. It's about talking about what's going on in your neighborhood and things of that nature. So, I feel real good about it, and it's just like the saga continues.
He finally won a Grammy Award in 2004 for his collaboration with Usher and Lil Jon on the hit single Yeah. The same year, he released his 4th album, Red Light District, and like many of his rapping peers, decided to embark on an acting career. His appearance in the 2005 film Crash earned him an invitation to the 2006 Oscars to see the film win the top award for Best Picture. By the time he released his next album, Release Therapy, Ludacris's attitude to songwriting had evolved.
The difference between this album and the rest of the albums is this one is a lot more personal. I kind of shied away from giving a lot of personal information about myself and thoughts on other albums. This one right here is just kind of letting it fly. The reason being is because, you get to a certain point in your career where you've talked about, you know, you talked about so many different subjects that it's time to just get on something that, a part of you that people haven't really heard. And it was that time. Album number 5.
He's gone on to release 2008's Theatre of the Mind and has become a co-host of the Planet Green show Battleground Earth, which pits Ludacris against Tommy Lee to see who can put on the most environmentally friendly 10-city tour. The winner headlines a final concert, while the loser faces humiliation as the support.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is my extreme honor to introduce to you tonight, oh my God, the Grammy Award-winning artist, the rapper, hip-hop icon, and Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, Mr. Kanye West.
No matter how much praise is heaped upon him, no one can big up Kanye West quite like the man himself.
I realized that my place and position in history is that, you know, I will go down, you know, as the voice of this generation, of this decade. That will be the loudest voice. And, you know, it's people that had the potential to do it, but they went on vacation. So while Justin was on vacation, I made albums.
Kanye's self-belief had already reached such heady heights in 2006 that he claimed he would really have a problem if his record Late Registration didn't win Album of the Year at the Grammys. The award ended up going to U2 for How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. And later in the year, when Touch the Sky failed to win Best Video at the MTV Awards, he took the boldness a step further and climbed on stage to argue that he should have won the award. In 2007, he was so confident his album Graduation would outsell rival 50 Cent's release Curtis that he brought forward the launch date to coincide with 50's. He ended up winning the challenge. However, he barely had time to gloat over his victory before disaster struck. 2 months later, his mother Donda died of a heart attack while undergoing cosmetic surgery. Since then, Kanye, who recently ended his 18-month engagement to Alexis Pfeiffer, has been reassessing his priorities.
You know, I'm at that point where, you know, I long to have a family, and especially losing my mother. I just really wish that I had like the type of woman that would have supported me through a situation like that, you know, and been very selfless. And it's really hard for me, you know. It's like, of course, for me, it's like it's not hard to find a date, but to find a mate is different.
Born Dana Elaine Owens in Newark, New Jersey, Queen Latifah started her career beatboxing for the rap group Ladies Fresh in the 1980s. After releasing her first album, All Hail the Queen, when she was 19, she also started making a name for herself as an actress in the FOXX sitcom Living Single. She went on to star in films and landed an Oscar nomination for her role as Mama Morton in the 2002 musical Chicago. 4 years later, she became the first hip-hop artist to be granted a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It's cool. I mean, this is exciting. I mean, because people get to walk down the street and see Queen Latifah right here. Look where, man, I got a sweet spot, too. I don't live far from here. I might come over here, sneak over in disguise and kind of just look at it sometimes. Maybe just step on it, run across it real fast, slip and fall on it, you know, things like that.
She'd come a long way from the hard knocks of her youth, which included being carjacked, seeing a friend shot, and being arrested for possessing drugs.
Walking down this street means hope. It means inspiration. One of the reasons for me to be here is to inspire other young women, young African-American women, young wannabe rappers or wannabe actors or wannabe entrepreneurs or full-figured sexy women or, you know, anyone who sees me, I hope they see me there and feel inspired and feel like if I could do it, they could do it.
Her tough start in life has made the rap queen determined to be a great role model for other women.
We're trying to develop an online community of people who are inspired to be confident, education, information, telling us stories, sharing each other's stories, and empowering each other. So you can just log on to the website and join the Curvaceous Nation. I'm one, you know, come on.
In 2007, she hosted the People's Choice Awards.
Today we're rolling out the red carpet for the 2007 People's Choice Awards, and we're gonna have a good time tomorrow, so I'm here to do it myself. I know, not used to this manual labor quite in this particular way. I've never rolled a carpet out before. This will be a first in my career, but you know, who better to do it?
After diverging into soul and jazz standards over the past few years, it was announced that Queen Latifah would be making a long-awaited return to rap, and is currently recording an album with Dr. Dre and Missy Elliott. African-born rapper Akon had caused more than his fair share of controversy even before releasing his aptly named debut album Trouble in 2004. After moving from Senegal to New Jersey at the age of 15, he fell in with the wrong crowd and ended up being convicted of car theft and serving 3 years in jail.
Well, at that time, music wasn't an option. Like, I never even, thought about music as a career. Like, that wasn't even nowhere in the radar. You know what I'm saying? That was a hobby, something I did for fun. And then I had a lot of people that was around me, too. Just straight street, you know, gangsters, people that really looked up to R&B like it was soft.
It wasn't until he was banged up that he really started delving deeper into music. After his release, he started recording songs that made their way to executives at Universal Records and led to the release of his debut album. Its first single, Locked Up, went top 10 in the US and top 5 in the UK. By the time his second album, Convicted, came out in 2006, Akon was everywhere, collaborating with the likes of Gwen Stefani, Bone Thugs and Harmony, 50 Cent and Mario. Reporters were asking whether he could be saturating the market.
You only saturate it when you own a whole bunch of stuff that ain't hot. If the records are hot, they're going to continue to buy it, they're going to continue to listen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be careful of what I jump on and how I put it out, because I don't think if the record ain't up to standards to where I feel like it's going to actually, you know, create a buzz somewhere, then I really won't even bother with it. But you only saturate it when you're not consistent.
His own single, Smack That, set a Billboard Hot 100 record by jumping from 95 to 7 in 1 week and earned him a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Sung Collaboration. Right at the height of his popularity, however, he fell into trouble with the law again. First, for simulating sex with an underage preacher's daughter on stage at a gig in Trinidad. Then at a gig in New York, he threw a 15-year-old fan off the stage and was charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and second-degree harassment. However, such trifling setbacks did nothing to burst Akon's bubble.
And now I'm starting to realize my calling. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful thing. I'm traveling the world. I'm experiencing different things. And the music is reflecting that. You know, as I'm traveling, as I'm moving, the music is actually molding that experience.
Jay-Z is the world's richest hip-hop entertainer, with an estimated net worth of $340 million, despite announcing his retirement from recording in 2003. He's since made a comeback, but there's far more to Sean Corey Carter from the Brooklyn Projects than his aptitude for rhyme and rhythm. When no record company would sign him in the 90s, he set up his own label, Rockefeller Records, and struck a distribution deal with Def Jam. Then he took on an office job as CEO and president of both companies.
I like to say that the inmates running the asylum now, you have to let people infiltrate the system in order to correct it. You have to get in there. People that's outside of the system have to get inside the system in order for it to be better, in order for people not to take advantage of artists, in order for people to care more about the music, you know, than quarterly numbers.
In 1999, he co-founded the streetwear company Rockaware with his Rockefeller Records partners. He also signed a deal with Reebok to create his own shoe which went on to become the fastest-selling product in their stores around the globe.
You gotta figure I grew up in the projects, you know what I'm saying, and we had to prepare to get shoes. It took us months. We had to save up and take out trash and do chores to get sneakers. So, I mean, to go from that to having your own sneaker is just the most incredible thing in the world.
His comeback album, Kingdom Come, sold 2 million records in 2006 and inspired him to go back on tour.
I go back and forth with it, you know what I'm saying? But this really makes me want to go out and perform. I'm looking forward to going, you know, overseas and touring over there. I don't know if it's going to be this level of production, but just, you know, just performing, like, you know, going through the rehearsals. You know, now I'm looking forward to going overseas.
Since then, he's released a 10th album called American Gangster. But it's his collaborations with other artists that have brought him #1 singles. In 2003, he co-wrote and featured on his future wife Beyoncé's smash Crazy in Love. And in 2008, he rapped a verse on Rihanna's Billboard #1, Umbrella. Lil' Kim rose to fame as the Queen Bee of Notorious B.I.G.'s Junior Mafia in 1994. A year later, at the age of 21, her debut album rose to #2 on the Billboard Hot R&B Rap chart, and her duet with Puff Daddy, No Time, sat at #1 on the rap chart for a total of 9 weeks. She allegedly carried on an affair with B.I.G. until his death by drive-by shooting in 1997. After that, she released another hit album and countless collaborations with other artists. In 2003, she was feeling invincible on the eve of the release of her third critically acclaimed album, La Bella Mafia.
Now everyone would see how versatile I am. I'm not just a rapper, I'm an entertainer. That means I do many different things. I can entertain in the bedroom. I can entertain on stage. I can entertain on a big screen. I want to do whatever the doors open up for me in this game.
Unfortunately for Lil' Kim, however, it was the sound of doors closing that she'd be hearing 2 years later, when she was convicted of lying to a grand jury about her friend's involvement in a 2001 shootout outside a radio station in Manhattan. The gun battle allegedly erupted over insulting lyrics aimed at Lil' Kim by a rival rap group. When the original case came to trial, Kim told the jury that she didn't notice her manager Damian Butler and friend Sweet Jackson at the scene. However, video footage from that night clearly showed the three leaving together, and both men later pleaded guilty to gun charges. She copped 1 year and a day in the Philadelphia Detention Center and turned adversity into advantage by scoring her own TV show called Lil' Kim, The Countdown to Lockdown. Her time in prison was spent watching her 4th album, The Naked Truth, go to #6 on the Billboard 200 charts and writing no fewer than 200 songs. No wonder she looked in great shape on leaving jail in July 2006. Dressed in white and blowing kisses to the hordes of fans who'd waited all night to get a glimpse of her, the 4'11" Queen Bee looked more like a homecoming heroine than a jaded jailbird. Since then, she's been working on a 5th album and a film of her life. She's also stepped out to compete in Season 8 of the US version of Dancing with the Stars. Since hitting it big with Doggy Style in 1993, West Coast hip-hop superstar Snoop Dogg has racked up almost as many court appearances as stage shows. Even while recording his breakthrough debut album, he was arrested in connection with the death of a rival gang member. Although he was acquitted, he remained in legal battles over the case for the next 3 years. Snoop's tough lyrics and languid singing style helped define the gangster rap movement, along with his womanizing and public pot smoking. In 2002, he publicly swore off the marijuana and promised to clean up his act. However, his new career as a positive role model was short-lived. In May 2005, at a concert in Washington where he shared the stage with The Game, a fan was allegedly beaten unconscious by security guards as Snoop and The Game looked on. The next year, he and his entourage smashed up a duty-free shop at Heathrow Airport. He was cautioned for a fray and banned from the UK. A year later, he was begging to be let in again for his double headlining tour with P. Diddy.
Home sweet home, baby. Let me in. Let me in. I need to be back at home. London, England, UK. Someone speak for me. Big Snoop Dogg.
At the time, he was on 5 years probation for gun and drug charges. But when he signed up for his own reality show later in the year, he claimed he was given an unfair rap by the media.
Just the negative press, they always paint me out to be a bad boy, you know. You never hear about the good things that I do, you know what I'm saying? You always hear about the, you know, the run-ins that I have with the law as opposed to the things that I do in the positive light.
At least when recording a song for the Bollywood film Sing is King, he got plenty of positive feedback from the film's star, Akshay Kumar.
I really enjoyed myself working with him. He's a legend, he's a real king there in his world. And I really enjoyed working with him.
Along with a huge array of celebrity entertainers, rapper-producer will.i.am got right behind Barack Obama's campaign to take over the White House. In fact, he was so committed to the cause that he wrote and produced the song Yes We Can, which cut together excerpts from the presidential hopeful speech in January 2008.
The song needs to make people hope. The song should make people realize their individual importance. So I wanted to do my part in getting that speech into schools. So that's how it all came together.
As frontman and producer of the Black Eyed Peas, he's helped the four-piece LA rap group to sales of 10 million albums and 3 Grammy Awards. Along with Taboo and Apple D-App, he found the BEPs back in 1995, and they released 2 albums before drafting in the female vocal help of Stacey Fergie Ferguson, who came on board in time for their 2003 breakout album, Elefunk. It spawned the hit singles Where Is the Love, Shut Up, Hey Mama, and Let's Get Retarded, which became the more sanitized Let's Get It Started in commercials for the National Basketball Association playoffs in 2004. Monkey Business and more hit singles followed in 2005. And since then, will.i.am has spent much of the time collaborating with other artists and releasing his 3rd solo album, Songs About Girls. Not that the BEPs have broken up. In fact, in early 2009, they started talking up their next studio album, The End, which apparently stands for The Energy Never Dies.
We're always growing, you know.
I think it's faster BPMs.
Yeah,
right.
It's really truly reinvented ourselves.
Yeah.
Without saying it, you really have to hear it. So it's one thing to say it; it's another thing for you to hear it. I don't want to limit what it is. So I know we reinvented ourselves. Yeah. So look out for the new reinvention.
He's also been ploughing some of his undying energy into the setting up of the Peapod Foundation.
For us, a success is how long we've been doing it and how it's grown throughout the years. Officially launching it in Soweto, Africa with 40,000 people, and we had a concert for free. Raising money to build studios and equipment for the kids to express themselves and excel in the arts. And then some of those kids making content that gets shown at Sundance. You know, so this is just the beginning.
In and producing the film Venice Beach, to which he's also writing the soundtrack. By the time January 2008 rolled around, he was taking the 5 Grammy Award nominations for his 2nd album, Because of You, in his stride.
Right there, yeah, right on the cusp of greatness, I guess.
How great is that?
It feels good. It feels really, really good. Last year I had, I think, 2. And I upgraded 3, yeah, so I'm good. I'm happy. I'm nervous. Very nervous, very nervous. Because, I mean, come on, it's the Grammys. Everybody wants to win a Grammy, you know, so it's like...
They're loud, they're proud, and they've got away with words. This time on the hit list, it's a rap. Although he's now a huge star in his own right, Ne-Yo first found success writing for other artists. His song Let Me Love You helped R&B singer Mario to one of the biggest hits of 2005, which led to his own deal with Def Jam Records. A year later, he topped the charts himself with the single So Sick off his In My Own Words album. Suddenly, he couldn't go out without being recognized.
As a writer, you could be a normal guy as a writer. You could, you know, you could go home when you feel like it. You could go to the movies, have a girlfriend. You could do all of that stuff that regular people do as a writer because you're behind the scenes. Like,
So after you've won these awards, what do you do with them? Do you have a room?
My mom has a room. She puts all the accomplishments in her house, because they'll get ruined at my house.
After that, there was no stopping the boy from Arkansas who named himself Neo after Keanu Reeves' character in The Matrix. Later in 2007, he set up his own recording studio in Atlanta, Georgia, which went on to become a fully fledged record label called Compound. He also embarked on a film career. After appearing in Save the Last Dance 2 and Stomp the Yard, he set his sights on starring.
You're not the celebrity, or at least you're not trying to be. And you're making a great living doing what you do. So, like, you can be a regular person. As an artist, you don't really get that privilege. Like, I can't just get up and go to the movies by myself if I wanted to.
Within another year, Ne-Yo was coming to terms with winning 2 MOBO awards.
Utter shock, both times. I mean, you know, with people like Akon and Amy Winehouse and Robin Thicke and all these people, I really was not expecting to win. I really wasn't. These are people that I'm a fan of, you know what I mean? So I didn't know. I got up there, didn't know what to say, man. It was crazy.